about service animals. So last week I was in an elevator and a service dog jumped up on me and started giving me a ton of kisses, which was super cute but very inappropriate. And then this past week, actually probably like 5 days or so later, I came home and my roommate's service cat was scratching up the couch and had knocked over a bunch of stuff that was on the counter. Not very service-like. And then again, 2 years ago, I was in a music class and this one girl was dragged out of the class by her service dog. 5 minutes later, she was curled up on the ground having a panic attack from her PTSD. So, there's a little bit of conflict there as to what a service animal is and where it can be taken. Did you know that for as little as $26, you can order service animal papers or a service animal vest online? Just anywhere, like eBay. There's places outside of Utah that'll just send them to you after they call you for 10 minutes and validate your mental illness. I miss my dog dreadfully. Like, I miss her a lot, but I am not about to cross that boundary of undermining another person's disability just so that I can have my really floppy, friendly, slobbery golden retriever at my side all the time. I am arguing or proposing that the law must allow the public to verify what is or isn't a service animal to prevent the abuse of the title service animal. The less we take this seriously, the more people are going to get away with it. And then all of a sudden service animals are just going to have this terrible, terrible reputation and not be taken for what they truly are. So we're going to talk about what a service animal is and why they're needed, what exactly people get away with in terms of falsifying their need for pets, and how we prevent the integrity, or how we preserve the integrity of the job title. So first we're going to go into the definition of the ADA, which is the Americans with Disability Act definition. So Title 3, subpoint A, subpoint Part 36, subpart A, Section 36.104 says service animal means any dog that is individually trained to do work or perform tasks for the benefit of an individual with a disability, including a physical, sensory, psychiatric, intellectual, or other mental disability. Any other species of animals, whether wild or domestic, trained or untrained, are not service animals for the purpose of this definition. And then subpoint Title 2, Part 35, Subpart B, Section 35.136, mandated that service animals, sorry, I read that wrong, entitled service animals mandates that one cannot directly inquire if the dog, cat, or whatever you have is a service animal. That's against the law. You can't ask outright. But you can ask if the animal has been trained to, or how the animal, or what the animal has been trained to do for the particular disability, and if, and you can't ask to see papers or documentation. Side note, there's one other animal that's allowed to be a service animal. Any guesses as to what that is?
Mini horse. Giraffe.
Yes, a mini horse.
A mini horse.
How cool is that? So just qualifying, just like set in stone. Dogs and mini horses. No cats, no iguanas, no birds, no hedgehogs or ferrets, nothing like that. Comfort animals are not service animals, just to be clear. So in order to preserve the name and I'm so sorry, I skipped an entire section. Rewinding. Okay, the purpose of the service animal and how it's been twisted. As I've already mentioned, there are people with really severe PTSD that use service animals. There are people that are blind, deaf, they have a physical disability, like they might be paralyzed, they might have a stroke and have half their body just completely numb and worthless. They might have depression, they might have crazy tics, the list just goes on and on and on. That is why we have service animals. If you have social anxiety and you want to take your cat with you somewhere, that doesn't count. That's not a service animal. So we're gonna go into the first video that we found, or that I found, which is the penalties for having a
130
fake
new
service
state
animal.
laws going into effect in our Sunshine State in just under 6 hours. And one is putting phony service dog owners on notice.
Local businesses say it is a real concern when people pass their pets off as service dogs. News Channel 5's Jacqueline Powell looks at how you can often tell whether a service dog is real or fake.
Good girl, Pollyanna, good girl.
Pollyanna has been helping Don Chester get around for the past 10 years. For him, she's absolutely needed.
She can open and close doors, she can turn lights off and on. If I drop anything on the floor, even one piece of paper, she can pick that up.
But Don says the system's been abused. Anyone can buy a vest similar to this one online and pass off a pet as a service animal to take it in places like restaurants or movie theaters.
People are a little bit more skeptical now. I have seen where people have been questioned because they have a dog that just doesn't look like you might think a service dog should look.
Service dogs come in all different breeds and sizes, and you can't always tell whether someone's truly disabled just from physical appearance. But Pollyanna's trainer says there are a few giveaways as to whether an owner is faking it.
It's really the caliber of the demeanor of the dog, how it's acting with the person. Is it interacting with the person? Is it listening to commands? Is it basically ignoring everybody else in that restaurant except the person that they are working with?
Jeff Eagle says a true service dog won't bark and will be very calm. And usually they're on leashes like this one, not a retractable leash because their owners don't need to restrain them. Anytime someone enters an establishment with a dog, workers can ask what the dog's trained to do. If it appears someone is pretending to use it as a service dog, workers can call police to come out and investigate.
The penalty for pretending your dog is a service animal is up to 2 months in jail and 30 hours of community service helping the disabled. Lawmakers hope it will make people who aren't actually disabled think twice about what they're doing. But the law...
It's basically all we really needed to hear. So yes, that was just Florida though. There are many other penalties that are starting to take effect these days. Oregon specifically, to my knowledge, has not really specifically labeled what their penalty is going to be. So because of this law, I think, or because of ADA in general, I think we need to argue or ask that it gets tightened up a little bit in terms of how people can approach service animals. Like, we need to be able to ask specifically what this animal is allowed to do, ask for a little bit of a demonstration, just because if, we can't necessarily take word of mouth as complete truth. I personally am a little bit offended that this is considered a service animal. This is my roommate's cat, by the way.
You're literally the devil. Like, ow! Ow! I hate you. Oh my god.
It's blood, by the way.
Ow, that was
Ginger
really-
blood.
You're literally the devil.
I don't want to watch it. It just pisses me off. Also, I hate cats, which is primarily spurring this whole speech. But yes, if you see somebody that is calling their iguana or their really feisty cat a service animal, I would ask that you approach them and tell them to take the title a little bit more seriously, because other people really do need service animals, and that situation that we just witnessed is one of the main reasons that people don't allow service animals in their establishment, even if it is required by law. So that's the end of my rant for today. Thank you for listening.